What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what is really moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid is up 3.95%, 216 the low, 225 the high, and 85 million shares being traded, most of which is just in the last 30 minutes. So big money starting to wake up and really push Lucid higher. No news from Lucid itself today or any SEC filings, so it has been rather quiet from them. Aside from that, even on a macro standpoint, there isn't any data points coming out today that's moving the market, rather just a certain level of optimism between the States and China coming to some sort of agreement. Trade agreement, of course, and Trump did allow some flexibility on pretty much what he put in place 2 weeks ago about China receiving American technology. So it goes to show that the States is really willing to come to some deal. And I think based on a lot of articles I've seen, the States is rather desperate for China's rare earth minerals. So I think that's kind of the moral of the story of what they want. But nonetheless, though, I think the market is absolutely loving that certain level of optimism. No news, like I said, from Lucid. I have seen a abnormal amount of influencers kind of talking about Lucid and really calling it a squeeze. So once again, we've seen that happen in the past when a lot of influencers, large accounts start talking about Lucid. It does actually tend to help the stock price for whatever reason. I don't know if it's actually bringing in and luring in new investors. But last time I did see this level of kind of move and pumping, and I wouldn't say pumping, but you guys get what I'm saying, that number of influencers, then it kind of went up like a good 15-20%. So once again, that could potentially happen in the next little bit. As far as shorts, they are returning 1.28 million shares. 31.64% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 390.17 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average 3.35, and then short score, so the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening, is sitting at 75.55. Through IBKR, there is roughly around 1.9 million shares available. So if shorts really did want to double down, they could. So the fact that they are returning is kind of a good thing, shows that they're anticipating Lucid to really move higher. Based on the options, you are seeing 893,000 in calls, 129,000 in puts. 47% of all the options being done are bullish in nature. And similarly, based on the volume, it shows that big money just woke up for whatever reason at roughly around 11:15. So they started to buy a lot of call options, and so insinuating that there is more upside anticipated. From the bulls, you see a consensus for it to be above 250 for this week, bears for it to be sub 250. So with us at 220 and change, we're kind of level ground right now, but a lot of transactions occurring on the dark pool. Dark pool is often enough used by shorts, as I kind of always explain. Secondary market, though, is rather quiet, so you only see 4 transactions, 2 of which are buys. So most of the volume is actually coming from algorithmic trading and then through the dark pool as well. With it right now at 224, it is right above this R1. So 223 is going to be a strong support, followed by 216. 216 it did bounce off of, so we know that's a good support, bigger picture. So yeah, I think big things might be coming for Lucid. For whatever reason, big money seems to be really buying it up. Maybe it's because of the macro optimism. Tesla recovering as well could really be benefiting Lucid. Some people were thinking the inverse might happen, that potentially Tesla going down might be good for Lucid. I kind of beg to differ, but that's a whole nother topic for that. But aside from that, 228 and then 234 is going to be the next strong target / resistance points. And one thing as well I do want to bring up, again, you can take this information from what you will, but looking at the average duration that shorts typically hold Lucid is 69.48, and in fact it's been going up slightly. So at the end of the day, when shorts get in, they get in for the long haul. They're in it for a good 2-3 months. So ultimately, if Lucid does come out with some good news, like I said, random surprise news, then yeah, you never know. You could see a nice bump up. I wouldn't say like MOAS or whatever the hell people like to call that, but nonetheless, I do feel that shorts will be slowly returning over the next quarter exactly if there is this continued momentum in the broader market. Lucid, I think, just like I said, needs to execute. I've already mentioned that time and time again, but on the actual chart itself, it is above the ALMA, showing signs that it does want to reverse. Stochastic RSI is very oversold, so that could really stand to benefit it in the next little bit, being very oversold. And so the next real point to watch for is at 245, and that is that 50-day moving average. Historically a very big deal for Lucid, and then you have that 100 at 253. So all in all, let me know your thoughts on Lucid, and what do you feel is the reason why all these random influencers are coming over? Do you think that there's maybe some secret WhatsApp group that they all kind of coordinate and kind of rotate between different tickers? Like I kind of found it weird. And last time it did happen, that all of them seem to have just compiled together. It did go up, like I said, but still, let me know your general thoughts on all of that. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.